Welcome to Stars and Glitter Balls with Jess and Lindsay.
This episode is going to be about Strictly Specials. We're going to be looking back on some and also some future ideas. So,
Yeah.
first up is the underwater one.
Yeah. So I'd actually forgotten that this was part of Sport Relief in 2012. I had a little rewatch of it. I think in my brain I'd thought it was slightly different to what it was. Because
Yeah.
I kind of surprised myself when I was watching it. Although I've seen it before, but I'd forgotten that there was actually the feet was actually on the ground. It sounds weird saying it now.
I know what you mean, yeah.
But
Actually
kind of yeah. I kind of, before I'd rewatched it in my head, it was there was sort of just in the water floating about.
Yeah, they weren't well, I suppose they were basically diving, weren't they, to be on the bottom.
Yeah.
And yeah, I'd seen it before, but again, not in a while.
Yeah.
It's quite weird for Strictly to do a Sports Relief special, actually, because, well, usually it's children in need, isn't it? And Sports Relief kind of.
Yeah.
I'm not sure when in the year Sports Relief is, but it's not.
Well, it's Sports Relief and Comic Relief, isn't it?
Yeah,
The
so it's
alternate.
usually around that time, which is different to obviously children in need.
Yeah, I think it's that earlier on in the year, and then Children in Need sort of later on when Strictly's actually on, isn't it?
Yeah, it has quite limited camera angles as well. There's only so much you can put in the kind of water thing. I don't know what you call it.
I mean, I suppose it's basically a swimming pool, isn't it? But it wasn't really a proper swimming pool.
Yeah, so there was obviously limited camera angles, quite a limited range of movement in the water.
Yeah.
But definitely nice. It's a bit of fun, and I wouldn't mind seeing it again.
Yeah. The judges on it was Craig, Bruno and Len from the normal Strictly, and then there's also Mark Foster, who is an Olympic swimmer and was also on Strictly previously.
Yeah, so it was quite good. Yeah, quite good to have a specialist person, really.
Yeah.
I probably wouldn't have thought of doing that.
No, I thought, because I was sort of watching it who's this guy? And then
I
went and Googled him. But yeah, that had Chelsea Healy with Pasha on it and Harry Judd with Aliona. I thought that was a really good special, to be honest.
Yeah, they both did really well as well, didn't they?
Yeah. I mean, there has been a few other Sports Relief Strictly Come Dancing ones that have all been in different formats. Some years it's been scored and some haven't. So there was one in 2008, 2010, and then 12 was the underwater one. Then 14 they had Paralympians, and then 2018 they had footballers. And then that was the last one.
So it's weird how they don't do it it's not an annual thing.
No, it's kind of been 8, 10, 12, 14. Then they missed 16 and then 18. I'm not actually sure what happened this year, because obviously with COVID and everything, I don't know kind of what.
Oh, I think this year they combined Children in Need and Comic Relief together.
Oh, with that home one.
The big night in, I think it was.
That was the one.
Yeah, that's what they did.
I don't know if that was kind of instead of everything. I don't know if there's a Children in Need this year or. I don't know.
Yeah, I guess we'll see, won't we?
Yeah. I doubt there'll be a Children in Need Strictly special, but probably because of all the distancing and bubbling. But
I know what you mean.
Whether there'll be a Children in Need in general, who knows?
Yeah. By the way, just a disclaimer: if I do cough, just ignore me. I haven't got coronavirus. I just got a cold. I feel like just a cough actually. Yeah, I feel like a lot's going around at the moment, 'cause it's winter and stuff. Apart from the pandemic, but yeah, I'm sorry. just pretend I don't exist.
Walk out the cough.
Yeah. So next one. Next one I've got. I don't know if you've got the same order, but
I think so.
Strictly ice dancing.
Yes.
So obviously immediately I'm like, ooh, Dancing on Ice copy.
Yeah. Well, I'd kind of like heard about it, but I hadn't actually watched it until seeing this, researching for this episode. And yeah, there's actually some clips on YouTube which I hadn't realised, hadn't discovered before.
Oh yeah, because I remember saying to you there was. Yeah.
Yeah, so I didn't know they were there. But yeah, that was the Christmas special in 2004. So it was before Dancing on Ice. So would that have been like, because in 2004 there was like 2 series, weren't there? One
Yeah,
in
there
the
was.
May and then one later on. So I
Yeah.
guess it must have been that successful that they had the Christmas special.
Yeah, because I've read somewhere that actually, although it was before Dancing on Ice, the Dancing on Ice format was known about.
Ah.
I read that, so I was like, ooh. So they did kind of, try a quick one there.
Yeah.
In terms of it ever happening again, I think it's too similar to Dancing on Ice to maybe ever happen again, which is sad, really. But
Yeah, it's a shame.
but there is one we're going to talk about later. It could be possible if there was ever a crossover, and there's been like previous evidence because Torvu and Dean did the Children in Need special, didn't they?
Yeah, they did. That's true.
So there is some sort of room for cooperation, definitely.
Yeah. I think I found it quite interesting that Craig was the only judge on it from Strictly.
Yeah.
There was Nikki Slater on it, who was a judge and then went on to be a judge on Dancing on Ice. And then Tess and Bruce had presented it, so definitely a bit different from the normal dancing.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, again, in terms of it happening again, I would love it, but unfortunately, I don't think it will. But it was great when I found out about it.
Yeah.
So Children in Need's the next one. I would say, other than the Christmas special, this is probably one of the most well-known specials there is.
Yeah.
It's always a very heartwarming occasion.
It is.
Everyone is. I put here. Everyone is typically more nicer in quotation marks, and it's all a bit of
just referring to one in particular.
Yeah, and it's all a bit of fun. I think kids are allowed in the audience, aren't they? You often see them with the
I think so.
The pudsey
the
ears.
Pudsey ears.
Yeah. But it's now like a regular in the schedule, really.
Yeah, pretty much every year since 2008, really.
Yeah, so that's pretty consistent.
Yeah, that one's similar to Sports Relief. That's also had different formats. Like some have been scored, some haven't. Some haven't even had a vote, which I hadn't realised. So there's not a winner.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, so that one has been all different ones. Some with like kind of just generic celebs, and then there's been like the BBC newsreaders, Torval and Dean, the Caller Midwife actors, Blue Peter presenters, Boyzone, and EastEnders actors last year.
Yeah, I think it's good for a celeb who doesn't really want to commit to a full series, but kind of just wants to give it a try.
Give it a go.
Yeah. Taster.
There's actually been a couple of people who've kind of done that, who's then gone on. But obviously there's Maisie this year, who was in the EastEnders special last year.
Yeah.
And then I think Alex Scott, who was on last year, she'd done the football sport.
She did the
special.
sports one, yeah.
So
and won it, I believe.
Yeah.
So then, yeah, she did this year's.
Yeah.
So next, the Christmas special.
Yeah.
Excuse me. This one's always great.
Yeah, something to look forward to on Christmas Day.
Yeah, especially when the series ends and then it's just raises all the spirits again.
Yeah.
Amazing costumes.
Yeah.
It's always featuring the previous celebs. And schools are typically more generous.
Yes. Yeah. I found out that between 2010 and 2013, they featured celebs who couldn't compete in the main series due to time constraints. And then since 2014, it's been contestants from previous series. So,
oh wow, I
found that quite interesting.
Yeah, I actually never knew that.
No. And that one's usually scored by the judges, but then the winning couples chosen by studio vote.
And that's typically pre-recorded, isn't it?
Yeah.
Well, obviously not live, but I mean it's pre-recorded, a few weeks before.
Yeah.
Which must be weird, dressing up and everything and pretending that it's Christmas Day.
Yeah, I've always thought that, totally going off topic, but with Jules Holland's Suit and Annie, when they're doing like New Year's Eve and everything, and bringing the New Year, and yeah, it's like recorded like a few weeks before. It's like so strange.
So next, People Strictly. So I've put, definitely should be more of this. That's the first one I've put.
Yeah, that featured 6 inspirational heroes who did 4 weeks of training and then performed live in the studio.
Yeah, I've put potentially a key worker version.
Yeah, that would be really good.
I put it could even work similar to Bake Off, so have a regular series and a celebrity series.
Yeah, I was thinking that. There's like people get invested in like Bake Off and MasterChef and Apprentice who don't have like celebrities, so why couldn't it work with Strictly, really?
Yeah, I've just put that it's difficult with schedules though.
Yeah.
And again, ticket applications, they're already inundated as it is for the regular series. So
yeah, it'd be a lot hard to do like 2 full series of that. There's a lot goes into it, isn't there?
Yeah, and obviously celebrities do draw. I would say celebrities do draw a large amount of the viewing figures, so I don't know if they would be as high, but you never know.
Yeah, I think there would be people who love Strictly for Strictly who would watch it.
What I've put here is a concept that I kind of thought of myself, but I don't really know. I've put people's judge. So the way I saw this was like there'd be someone who's like representing the average viewer on the panel, and like I've put that it wouldn't work, but the way I would see it is like people would kind of, it'd be like on, have you ever had the Britain's Got Talent app where you can where you can like vote and stuff? It'd be like that. Like you would, at the end of the dance, like you could press what you would score it and stuff, and then the majority vote would be what the judge would say on behalf of all the people watching.
Yeah, that'd be really good.
It would be cool, but it would just not work with you as well now.
I'm sorry. That is just like a tickle.
It would just not. Sorry, it just not work with the bias. Is what I'm trying to say. Because
yeah, that's true.
Some people would be like, "Oh, that's brilliant, 9," and obviously there would be people that were scoring it accurately, but
yeah, it's like a Donny Osmond 10.
Yeah, I just thought it'd be a cool idea. Like,
yeah, that would be quite cool. Definitely be a popular thing, wouldn't it?
Yeah, and you could have like a different person representing the people's judge every week. I mean, that'd be amazing. Imagine that.
Yeah.
Just getting to sit on the panel.
The 5th judge. That would be really good.
So I've always thought like the Strictly announcer being like, after like Bruno being like, and the people's judge, and then they give their score.
Yeah.
Yeah. Should do that, BBC. Are you listening?
all of our popular listeners.
If you're actually still listening to this after, the coughing and everything else, like, well done.
You're doing well.
Well done to you. Right, so next I've put junior/kids version.
Yeah. I think that would be really good.
Yeah,
it's similar to the People's one, isn't it?
But it's just crying out for one, I feel like, because there's so many talented young dancers, aren't there? And
yeah, I mean they've kind of had a couple sort of in the
group
the group dances, yeah,
and they were amazing.
Yeah,
Um,
Kids have a lot to offer.
and obviously the Voice Kids, that's very popular.
Yeah,
They've done like Bake Off Junior before, things like that.
yeah.
Obviously I've put that the judges' characters will have to be toned down a bit. Um,
Otherwise, you might have a lot of crying kids.
or should I say, a judge? His character would need to be toned down a bit. I put adequate support needs to be in place for the pressure slash mental health side, um, especially for kids because
Yeah,
you know they could just crack on the stage and like that wouldn't be good. So
yeah,
I've put as a suggestion maybe start off as a one off special originally,
yeah.
or maybe even
Like it's gonna happen.
yeah, just suggesting guys as part of the pitch. I
Although
think
they could always do like sort of kids who do dance and like not
yeah,
doing it from like zero experience, but doing it from kids who dance and then kind of
like
like getting them.
competitive level, yeah.
Which I mean, thinking about it, the whole idea is they're paid with a professional.
Yeah.
You wouldn't have a professional
Uh,
kid, would you? But you'd almost have to have two kid dancers who kind of do it as a
yeah, but
hobby, but like
obviously
seriously.
it would be difficult actually because they have to gel as a partner as well. They have to, and if they use the dance with a certain dance partner and they get paired, that's something to think about. So it wouldn't be as
Yeah,
easy as it would seem, originally. Um,
yeah,
oh yeah, so on to the next one, which we talked about earlier, briefly, is a crossover with A Danced on Ice. Now this is like a dream one, really, because it just wouldn't happen, would it? There are, they're rival networks, but they aren't in direct competition because BritBox has recently launched, which
yeah,
is both of them in it, isn't it? It's BBC ITV. It's a streaming platform,
yeah,
and I think there has been more collaboration between them, between the two channels of late. There's that.
yeah, definitely.
Have you seen that advert on TV where it's like it's BBC ITV, Channel 4, Channel 5, and like oh no, they do. It's like a joint advert they did where it's like showing you moments on the TV and stuff.
Oh,
I don't know.
no,
I think you'd see it if I showed you it, but it's hard to explain.
probably.
Um,
Yeah. Oh my god, I've just thought on the spot they could do it a bit like a triathlon. So
oh,
you do like a little bit on the
yes,
ice, and then you like rip the
like a stage, like a
skates off,
yes.
and then like they go and do like the Strictly bit, and then
Oh
they
my
could do another
god.
bit in tap. Oh my god, how cool would that be? I mean, it'd be absolute nightmare, wouldn't
We
it?
need to
Trying to
get
learn.
down to Earl Street right now.
I'll start the car up. We've got all these great ideas
Well,
now.
we might have to actually be together first, but
Yeah, I'd have to drive quite far to
yeah.
get to you.
Oh. But yeah, what a great idea! Yeah, I've definitely loved like stages and stuff. Like, it'd be like stage one is the like ice or whatever. Stage two,
Yeah.
stage three underwater.
Oh my god.
Oh, amazing!
We need a triathlon, a decathon.
Yeah, get it added. Get it added as a Olympic sport.
Oh my
Hey,
god.
you know what they call it? Like the dance-a-thons and whatever, and like the cha-cha challenge and stuff. Just like the Strictly-a-thon. That's the new sport.
Yeah.
They haven't like explored the athon properly, have they? That's the true athon.
No. They're missing out.
Yeah. Anyway, enough of our great ideas.
On to summer.
Yeah, on to some more great ideas. So summer special. So I've put, would it be overkill? So
Yeah.
this would be to obviously have a series, in the summer months, um,
Yeah. I kind of
or like spring, But
yeah. I was sort of thinking like would it be as special if
yeah,
it was like just the exact same as a normal series? Because Strictly season is like autumn going into winter and it like the lead up to Christmas. It's just like a special time of year. So I was like, if you
yeah.
just had another series, I guess
I
they
put
did the first year, but
difficult with schedules.
oh yeah, that as well.
Usually there's cruises in the summer as well. Um,
Yeah,
I put it could be good to hold the junior version or the people's version for a shorter series, like during that time maybe.
Yeah.
But like you, I said, it might kill the build up and the lineup announcements that
Yeah.
lead to the launch show.
Yeah.
And finally, I've got Eurovision/Global,
Now, I
and I've
think
put
this idea is like legendary.
I put great idea, three exclamation marks.
Yeah, I
So,
just love
considering
the idea of it.
Strictly's just been licensed to its 60th country or territory, Mongolia. So I thought, what a great way to kind of incorporate that and have like a Eurovision style one where, there's like a host country. You'd have to decide the host country, and then which would probably be us to start with, because obviously Strictly Come Dancing was kind of founded here.
Yeah.
And then they just all these different couples represent their countries.
Yeah.
And then there's a big vote like Eurovision, and I mean BBC own Eurovision. Is it broadcast on the BBC? It is, isn't it?
Yeah,
It's
there's no
Graham.
adverts, is there?
It's Graham Norton, isn't it? Yeah. So
Yeah.
they own the rights to Eurovision already, so why not kind of
Yeah, Strictly Eurovision.
Yeah. I put more. It would give more appreciation to the other dance styles. So like different cultures, because
Yeah, I've never I've kind of seen bits of other series, but never kind of like the more different ones.
like the more obscure ones.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sure there are.
Like Mongolia, for instance.
Yeah. I mean, you never know. There might all be exactly the same dance style, but I highly doubt it.
No, because there is just cultural differences. Like, for instance, a theatre audience in Japan will react very differently to a.
Yeah. I mean, even the Australian one, I can't remember which dance it was now, but there was one dance where on Strictly Come Dancing you're not allowed lifts, but on the Australian Dancing with the Stars you was allowed lifts.
Yeah, it's just little things, and even like different themes, isn't there?
Yeah.
Which we've talked about before. We've touched on like different themes.
Yeah.
So I put
a bit like Britain's Got Talent, the Champions as well.
Yeah, I've literally just put similar. It's been similarly done with BGT the Champions.
Yeah,
which was great.
Of winners.
It was great, but it kind of just was only once, and that was it. Whereas this really could be an annual thing like Eurovision.
Yeah. Well, that'd be great, wouldn't it? I think that's the best one.
Yeah.
We'll pitch that one.
We'll have like backups and then just that one.
Yeah, that can be the main one. Yeah. We've actually missed one.
Oh, have we?
Strictly African Dancing.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Now that's because, I tell you why, I don't have a lot for that one.
Well, no, I don't either.
I think that's why I didn't put it on there. It's kind of one that's like a bit obscure, isn't it? There's not much known about it.
Yeah, it was in July 2005, and Craig was the only Strictly judge.
Of course he was.
Yeah. And there was 6 celebrities of African or Caribbean origin that was paired with an African dance troupe for intensive training and then performed a traditional African dance.
Yeah, so again, it's that culture stuff, isn't it?
I thought it was like quite interesting.
But yeah, sadly, to my knowledge, no footage exists.
I think I found one clip of a little bit, but not a lot.
No.
I would love to like see kind of them in full episode. Well, yeah.
Yeah, because I'm sure the BBC has it in its archive somewhere, but
probably can put it on BritBox.
Yeah. See, we're just joining dots here.
The BBC should just hire us.
We're not affiliated with the BBC, can I just say?
No, we're not.
Sadly, not yet.
Just 2 general people.
Yeah. So, are we ready for the news?
We are.
Very excited, as always.
Yeah.
So, we've only gone and got 3 books coming out, haven't we?
Yeah.
3
on the same day.
3 strictly related books.
Yeah. So, the first one is Craig Revel Horwood's novel, Dances and Dreams on Diamond Street. So, he's written 3 autobiographies before, but this is his first novel. So, I've currently started it and I'm up to chapter 7 and I'm thoroughly enjoying it so far.
just want to say it's actually meant to come out on the 1st of October, but apparently Waterstones are
Released it early.
are very fast with their delivery in some cases, and yeah, Lindsay's got it 2 days early, so
Yeah.
love
That's
that.
great.
Well, it was dispatched 2 days early. Sorry, she got it today, but
yeah, which is one day.
Yeah,
it's
although
one
actually,
day after release as you
yeah.
listen to
Oh
this.
god, yeah. Just ignore us. We're really confused with the dates right now.
And you're probably not even listening to this on the release date, if you even listen to this at all.
Probably a year later, like, oh yeah. But we'll come back to us when we're famous.
We wish.
Yeah, so that's the debut novel. He's got quite a collection, really, now.
Yeah.
Claudia has released her first ever autobiography.
Yeah.
Called Quite. She has quite a She has quite a obsession with that word.
She does.
It's in her Twitter bio, and yeah. Apparently, it's really good though. I've seen she posted the first and last page.
Yeah, I saw that. And then Shirley has also released her first autobiography called Behind the Sequins.
Yes, and these are all coming out. Well, they all came out yesterday for you, or just sometime in the past. They're all out. They're all out. Yeah, any good bookshop, they're out, or Amazon, if you prefer.
Yeah.
Fine.
Yeah.
So that's the Strictly news, really, isn't it? Moving on to the, other theatre-y stuff.
The next one. So, some quite big news is the Olivier's have announced the Olivier Award winners are going to be revealed on the 25th of October, which is quite exciting.
Yeah, very exciting. So
and that'll be on ITV. You can watch it.
This year it was obviously postponed, and what they did, they aired a kind of best of thing instead, looking back over the years.
Yeah.
It will be nice to have kind of a proper ceremony, really.
Yeah.
So yeah, we will be bringing a kind of episode on that, won't we, in a few weeks' time when that airs as well.
Yeah.
So you've got that to look forward to, or look back on. And finally for this week, just today actually, or yesterday, we'll get it right eventually.
Wednesday.
Yeah, on Wednesday. Oh my god. On a Wednesday, there was
the 30th of September
2020. There was a protest in central London to do with the arts, of course, because they haven't been able to open as much as they'd like to, especially with the rise in cases at the moment. And particularly pantomime dames marched through central London, like fully in costume and stuff, because there's still restrictions on theatre. And what a great statement! I mean, I saw on the news they were all dressed up. It's great.
Yeah, I need to go and look at this because I didn't know about that until you mentioned it.
Yeah. So, because obviously most of the I haven't actually looked, but I imagine pretty much all of the pantomimes are off this year. So
yeah, which is sad. It'll definitely be a different Christmas without a pantomime.
Well, yeah, it doesn't feel real, really, does it?
No.
So, song of the week this week.
Yeah, what have you got for us this week?
This week, I actually based it off a performance I saw on BGT, and that was Hairspray. So, I've chosen You Can't Stop the Beat from Hairspray.
Good song. It
is. So, for any of our strictly orientated listeners, because you can identify as that now. Yeah, for any of you guys, this was the song that got the first 40 of the series.
Yeah.
Because Karim and Amy did was it a child? No, what was the dance? Was it a jive? A jive to You Can't Stop the Beat? Yeah, I think it was.
That sounds about right.
Yeah. I was going to say Charleston, but it wasn't because the Charleston was, Anyway, it was a jive to You Can't Stop the Beat.
Yeah.
So whenever I hear it, I just think of that dance, to be honest. And it's just it's a very upbeat song and just, I mean, I think the whole...
very
The whole of
You want to get
Hairspray.
up and dance, don't you?
Oh yeah, definitely. The whole of Hairspray is very upbeat and positive like that. Really, the songs.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's my pick. Next episode, we'll be talking about records in the theatre. So things like the
Yeah.
longest musical, the oldest theatre. These are like around the world, by the way, not just in the UK. So we're gonna see what all the different obscure records we can find, really, and just talk about them.
Yeah. Exciting.
And hopefully, I'll be absent of a cough. I will let you know.
That will be good.
And that's all.
Time for the curtain call.